Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Fin React. Yes, I am back recording, guys. It's been about a couple weeks since I've been gone. I've been doing some work stuff, and now I'm back here recording because, well, you guys keep asking things, and I keep delaying it. But you know what? I'm making my promises to you. Today, we are reacting to something which I grew up with. Fox Kids back in the day had all the TV shows. VR Troopers, Power Rangers, Pokemon, Digimon, Card Capture, Big Bad Beetleborgs, and also Kamen Rider. Hint, guys, I will be doing Kamen Rider really soon. Anyway, Big Bad Beetleborgs, you guys are kind of wondering, I don't remember that show. I do. It had a great intro. It had a great concept. And also, it was weird, but you know what? Let's go in depth. Now, before we actually go on to this, I had to do some research. Big Bad Beetleborgs, the costume is actually based on a Japanese Tokusatsu series. Hopefully I said that right. And I'll say these names right, so don't judge me, people that watch my videos. Juko Beef Fighter, which is from the first season, and Beef Fighter Kabuto, which is from the second season from Metallic. But let's not waste any time, guys. If you haven't yet, guys, please subscribe to Secret Galaxy, where he does all the shows that we grew up with in the 90s. So, do we feel safe? Let's check it out.
It's like someone showed a bot 1,000 hours of Power Rangers and asked it to write its own Power Rangers script. 3 kids become superheroes dressed like robot bugs after breaking into a haunted house and meeting a genie that looks like Elvis.
True.
They have to fight the forces of evil and maintain their secret identities while trying not to get eaten by Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, and the Mummy, who live in the haunted house with the genie who gave them their powers.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history of Big Bad Beetleborgs.
For me, it was such an underrated TV show. The fact that Big Bad Beetleborgs was like VR Troopers and Night of the Raw. It was like all these shows back then. These shows were 90s that people grew up with. When you were 9 and watching stuff on Saturday morning, this was one of the few shows that were on that made you want to watch TV. It's kind of like one of those times where I would sit in a random box that I would find in my house and just watch TV. You know, before breakfast, after breakfast, just enjoying it. But VHSs, I've had to say, are very underrated. A lot of people don't understand. And I actually watch a couple of these videos, guys, and he actually does a really good job on these things. So if you haven't, please subscribe to Secret Galaxy. He would probably appreciate it. I'll give him a message, and I just subscribed to him because I thought I did.
I've been eating cereal since I was a kid. I never stopped. What I mean is, I frequently eat cereal as a meal, as a snack. Not that I've been eating cereal non-stop for 40 years. But if
I think we all have, but I think this is a promo.
Trying to cut down on carbs or sugar, trying to eat healthier, the cereal you ate when you were 10 might not be the best fit. Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Also, only 140 calories. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. You can try Magic Spoon's best-selling flavors in a 4-flavor variety pack, including cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. Magic Spoon is healthy and delicious. It tastes exactly like regular cereal from your childhood, but is super nutritious. Click the link below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code TOYGALAXY at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/ToyGalaxy. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Click the link below and use the code TOYGALAXY for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/ToyGalaxy to save $5 today. That's magicspoon.com/ToyGalaxy to save $5 today. And thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video. Big Bad Beetleborgs is an 88-episode live-action television series that ran 2 seasons from 1996 to 1998. It's what happens when everyone in the writer's room is pitching ideas and no one ever says no to any of it. Yes, great ideas, all of it. Put all of it in.
And also the fact that they probably saw this and Japan was doing it and said, hey, let's bring it to America. Let's bring it to our kids.
Drew and Josephine McCormick, along with their friend Roland Williams, are challenged by 2 pretentious jerks named Van and Trip to spend an hour in Hillhurst Mansion. Hillhurst Mansion is notorious in the town of Charterville for being haunted. Haunted by what or whom is the question. Once inside, the 5 kids quickly discover that they're, real monsters. Similar to, but legally distinct from, the Universal monsters are Saban-verse versions of Dracula, Frankenstein, Mummy, and the Wolfman, Count Fangula, Frankenbeans, Mums, and Wolfgang Wolfie Smith, respectively.
Sounds like the lineup of the future of 2020. Well, actually, I was going to say 2222 Count Chocolates. I mean, it sounds like something that would come to the next cereal near you. No pun intended, we just watched a cereal commercial.
Monsters make clear their intent to eat the kids, but their efforts are spoiled by the accidental arousal of a genie-like entity called Flabber. Flabber, a mix of Jay Leno, Elvis, Liberace, Beetlejuice, and Jim Carrey's The Mask into a single entity that resembles but is legally distinct from Robin Williams' genie from Disney's Aladdin.
That is actually very scary but true.
Exchange for ending his imprisonment in the haunted pipe organ in the haunted mansion, Flabber offers Drew, Joe, and Roland a single wish. After a moment reflecting on how to use their wish, they decide to become real-life comic book superheroes. Makes sense. Roland's family owns a comic book store called Zoom Comics. It's a frequent hangout for all the kids in town, and there's nothing hotter in comics than the Beetleborgs. In fact, the reason Drew suggests they use their wish to become superheroes is to impress a girl named Heather who works at the comic book store. Big Bad Beetleborgs is a love story. After a brief misunderstanding where Flabber turns the kids into actual Beetles, Drew becomes the Blue Stinger Beetleborg, Joe is the Red Striker Beetleborg, Roland is the Green Hunter Beetleborg.
And a fun fact, if people remember from Power Rangers Wild Force, the green and I think the bit of the red actually make a sort of a appearance, even though it's not actually their respectful colors, but it's the same kind of idea when they did the Forever Red episode. So, fun fact.
The Beetleborgs, the kids are covered in powerful armor with weapons and abilities to match. Drew's telekinesis, Joe's super strength, and Roland's super speed can all be utilized even when the kids aren't transformed, but no television or movie wish has ever been granted that didn't have unintended consequences. Flabber is a bit eccentric, and in the process of bringing the comic book heroes to life and merging their powers with the 3 well-intentioned kids, he also brings the villains of the story to life.
There's always a plot twist to these things. That's why I don't trust genies nowadays. They may make you a wish, but they not actually be the wish you want.
Vors and their leader, Vexor, are now as real as the heroes. Even if the kids didn't want to be superheroes, now they have no choice. They must ally themselves with Flabber and protect the town of Charterville, or Vexor will easily conquer it. One step toward total world domination. In 1993, Saban Entertainment introduced the world to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a dream fulfilled for Saban himself, having tried and failed to bring multicolored Japanese superheroes to the United States many years before. Saban Entertainment's incredible success adapting Kyoryu Sentai Ranger into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers established a new template for Saban and others to follow for quick, inexpensive to produce television for kids.
True.
It demonstrated that there was a new market of consumers ready to watch and purchase all the associated merchandise, which would also be inexpensively imported from Japan. Saban Entertainment successfully replicated the formula with other Japanese shows as well. Masked Rider in 1995.
And that's actually something I will be doing really soon with Masked Rider. Now, Masked Rider was actually kind of interesting because I don't think it really lasted like an entire full couple season. I think it was only 1 season. But I remember this, that they tried to do it, even though it's based on, I think, Kamen Rider. Which, once again, guys, I will be doing. Don't shoot the messenger. I have 0 time sometimes. But Kamen Rider, Masked Rider actually makes an appearance in an episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I think it's the 3rd season, when they have to go into another world, and they end up fighting at first, but then working together. But it's actually a really weird concept that Saban has worked with all these like shows like VR Troopers, Masked Rider, and everything that they took from Japan, a lot of it in the early days was very successful, but there was a lot of weird downfalls and effects. I mean, nowadays we still have Power Rangers, kind of. And I've talked about this in my Sentai video. It's just the fact that, we're building up to now what could be the next thing that they can bring, that America could do based on what Japan did. And honestly, I have no idea. A lot of you guys had your input on that. And to be honest, I have a lot of feels about it. But it was one of my videos that I'm actually quite surprised that people are still watching. So, thank you. If you guys are interested, my video was somehow put at the end where you can find that video, and I will explain more.
Footage from Kamen Rider Black RX and
See, I don't, and I will be doing a video about the history of Kamen Rider, because in order for me to do a lot of these videos, I need to know the history. And Kamen Rider, there's like different variations and different seasons and all that stuff, so I need to kind of figure out where does Kamen Rider start and where it is now.
Importantly, 1994's VR Trooper, which borrowed footage from Superhuman Machine Metalder, Dimensional Warrior Spielbahn, and Space Sheriff Scheider.
It made a shitty video game, by the way, too. I will say that. If you don't know about that, I recommend checking out to the link, if I decide to remember, to Finn Gaming, where I did Finn play of VR Trooper, which is a horrible game that was made from Sega. I'm sorry to anyone who probably liked that game. I do not apologize, but I do apologize.
VR Troopers lasted 2 seasons for a total of 92 episodes, making it the second most successful Saban live-action television superhero adaptation after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Wait. Run that back one more time.
Scheider. VR Troopers lasted 2 seasons for a total of 92 episodes, making it the second most successful Saban live-action television superhero adaptation after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Really? I'm quite surprised.
Where Power Rangers used footage from a subgenre of Japanese superheroes called Super Sentai, and Masked Rider mirrored the Kamen Rider subgenre, VR Troopers was the beneficiary of the Metal Heroes subgenre.
And I will be doing Metal Heroes, guys, as well, because I know you guys keep asking me for Metal Hero. I had no idea what it was based on, but now I know.
Heroes as a subgenre was born in Japan in 1982 with the series Space Sheriff Gavan. Like Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, each year since 1982 brought a new Metal Heroes series with new characters, new armor designs, new villains. Most of them revolving around a cybernetically enhanced or robotic law enforcement officer of one type or another. That changed in 1995 with the series Juko B-Fighter or Heavy Shell Beetle Fighter. The heroes were still cybernetically enhanced,
which I did mention in the beginning of the video.
Superheroes, but now the armor was distinctly insect-inspired in its design. Whether in Japan or in the US, the goal of these shows is ultimately to sell toys. The annual reboot means an annual refresh of the toy shelves.
And I think I actually did have all 3 of the toys back in the day. I had the white, the blue, the red, and the green. I did have the Morpher as well, so I do remember that. I don't remember much vaguely about the ships that they drove in the show, but that was back in 1996 and 1998. I was young and dumb. Now I'm just old and dumb.
The point of the thing is to constantly renew the look, the theme, the gadgets, the giant robots, the everything. But if the sales are lacking, then more drastic measures have to be taken. In another world, VR Troopers goes on for 1 more season, and Juko B-Fighter is the new theme for their armor and gadgets. Saban was precariously low on footage remaining from the original 3 shows that made up VR Troopers, and needed to decide how to proceed. A transition from one series designs to another needs to be accounted for in the narrative. 2 seasons in, VR Troopers wasn't doing so well on the toy shelves. Masked Rider was also languishing, neither living up to the...
Now, the only reason that was very languishing based on the American way, because as much as it's very popular in Japan and everyone was so big into it, because Kamen Rider was like the next big thing next to Sentai, the fact that it just didn't really come to America and kids wanted to watch more of it. It was just more Power Rangers took over, and we had a lot of these sub shows, and people were like, And then they're like Power Rangers, they all shit bricks in the point where Power Rangers was the thing that Saban pushed forward and everything else pushed back. Now, I actually do have a VR Trooper ornament, which is actually kind of cool. But the shows like Masked Rider and VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs, they weren't very successful after 1 or 2 seasons. They kind of went into the crept of shows that we've forgotten back on Fox Kids, where they tried to promote more shows. But that was also the time you had Cartoon Network, Kids WB, Nickelodeon. You had all these other shows competing for kids to attract what channel to watch the most. And, Fox tried a lot of opportunities, but you also had things like X-Men, Batman. Do we have to go on? But still, it wasn't very much popular after 1 or 2 seasons compared to Power Rangers, where we're at 29 plus seasons of the show.
Set by Power Rangers. Saban took the opportunity to go in a different direction to make something that stood out from what they had previously produced. Ranger, Kamen Rider, Juko, B-Fighter, and all of the Japanese series that Saban pulled from were more violent and more mature in their presentation in Japan than the adaptations in the US. The result was a collection of shows whose audience skewed even younger in the US than they did in Japan.
What I think that what made it more better as someone because they didn't use the whole comic kind of vibe that we used in Big Bad Beetleborg. I think, to me, it kind of took away from the show, and it distracted it, because to me, a lot of us now, as we watch it, we prefer more of what Japanese did, because without the comics and all the sound effects, the word effects, you lose interest. You don't get to see the fight too much. But nowadays, it's more popular to see what people actually go on YouTube and look up Juko B Fighter without having the effect of what we did here in America with Saban.
Entertainment embraced that idea and developed a show that was hyper-targeted to what the kids were into, from Goosebumps to Ace Ventura to, Power Rangers, and making the kids themselves the heroes.
Oh man, I told you the Beetleborg's house was haunted. Whoa, check it out. A haunted house playset, just like the show, with all the house monsters and Flabber. Cool. Collapsing stairs. Hold on to the railing, Flabber. On your way down. Hey, look. A revolving bookcase.
Beetleborg's haunted house playset comes with monsters and Flabber. New Beetleborg metallic action figures, each sold separately. Banda, action to satisfaction.
And the thing is, I don't remember this at all. This is actually the one commercial I don't remember. I do remember Big Bad Beetleborg Metallics, and I think I got something from a Burger King the one time of like a little hologram thing. If you turn it, you get like a photo, but I don't remember that.
Substantial time.
And Bandai was before I continue on and we keep interrupting, Bandai, when it came to like making toys and stuff, was top of the tier list of most successful things that they did, because we as kids begged, cried, and just did everything I can to have our parents buy this stuff. Which nowadays, if you go on Amazon and you look for some of this product, you see the prices, and trust me, for us, we think back then, those prices back then were nothing compared to what people are selling it now.
Given to the characters out of costume, developing the characters without their super suits. The first 2 episodes of the series hardly feature any of the footage borrowed from the original Japanese source. Saban Entertainment did so much work to create the world that one wonders if they could have made the show without even using any Japanese footage at all.
I don't think that would actually be the case. I think a lot of it, when you look at things like what the show was based on of, it would have probably, people wouldn't think that Big Bad Beetleborg, if they didn't use what they use in Japan, I think they wouldn't have probably said, you know what, it's different. But no, people would have to say, people still like me question, like, wonder where this thing came from. Because if the whole concept, it wouldn't have been more successful without the conception of the Japanese show.
Can't sell the toys that already exist without using the footage of the action that already exists. By the end of the first season, it was time to wrap up the plot lines that included character designs from Juko B Fighter and move on to the next season's worth of character designs and fight scenes from B Fighter Kabuto.
And the fact that it came from 2 different Japanese shows back in the day to what we got from 2 seasons worth of Big Bad Beetleborgs, it kind of, to me, says that we give a lot of credit from two different TV shows.
Bad Beetleborgs became Beetleborgs Metallics for season 2, and comic book artist slash Beetleborgs creator Art Fortunes, along with his evil brother Les Fortunes, became integral parts of the narrative, their creations battling each other in the streets on a daily basis, trying to destroy and or protect the small town. Right or wrong, the cast of Big Bad Beetleborg...
Wait, did I say 8:35 in the morning?
Trying to destroy and or protect the small town.
8:35? Jeez, I was going to say... We gave Generosity 5 minutes just to go to the bathroom before the show came on.
Right or wrong, the cast of Big Bad Beetleborgs and Beetleborgs Metallics were non-union to keep the cost of the production as low as possible. Like Power Rangers before it, that caused some narrative issues that required extra creative writing.
Because of the fact that back in almost 1993 and 1994, almost in 1996 and 1998 as well, we can include things. The early Power Ranger stuff didn't really follow any certain union policies, so they were constantly not getting paid the amount of money that these people are getting paid for today. They're not getting the generosity that a lot of these people get nowadays with union. And to me, like they said, it caused rifts. I mean, the fact that we had many more Power Rangers, eventually when it went on to the second season, you had Jason, Zach, and Trini leaving the show because of the pay worth. Because of the fact that a lot of these people weren't getting paid the right money that they deserve, and it caused a lot of issues emotionally and physically with a lot of these characters. That's why shows like this didn't last strong in America. In the Japanese, I would say that they probably used the same actors, they used the same concepts, so they probably were getting paid more because they know what they were getting themselves into. But the fact of America is that back in almost 1993 to almost 1999, the whole union was just very much a big bowl of trail mix, and all you had majority of it was raisins.
Chandler, who played Joe, left midway through the first season, replaced by Brittany Konarzewski. The writers covered up this change in casting by having her character fall victim to a spell that changed her physical appearance. Flabber casts a counterspell that makes everyone in the world think she still looks and sounds the same, a solution that every show should use from now on. The cast also featured...
No, I don't think so. The thing is that kind of really just makes it more of an issue to say, you know what, that doesn't seem right. See, with Power Rangers, they did that. The fact that they replaced the old characters with new actors and just every season changed. The fact that a lot of people are getting comfortable with the main one. So things like with Kimberly, when she left after season 3 and passed the power to Kat, a lot of people felt like, it's a big stab in the back that we've lost one of the people that we grew up with from the original. So to me, I think just changing the character in a way is a great concept, but at the same time, it makes people wonder why. And then you get more of the backstory videos like this. The fact of the matter is now also you're getting more of what goes on behind the scene. The fact that the way that they were being filmed, the actors are actually getting paid, the actual, things that you get. It's just, it creates a way to distract it. But as we get older, we realize there's something behind this.
In Smallwood as Roland's grandmother, Nana Williams. She, along with Roland's parents, are the owners and managers of Zoom Comics. In 2006, Vivian appeared on an episode of America's Got Talent as Rappin' Granny. Billy Forrester, who played Flabber and sang the extended version of the Beetleborgs theme song, was not only a contestant on the U.S. version of The Weakest Link, but he won, taking home nearly $60,000.
I don't remember that.
Entertainment can be found. Shuki Levy will be there, but not on the theme music this time. The series music was composed by Einan Zur. Levy, a prolific composer, co-wrote the first 2 episodes of Big Bad Beetleborgs with Shel Danielson, and like VR Troopers before, directed both episodes, setting the tone for the rest of the series to follow. Most of the toys you could have wanted from Big Bad Beetleborgs had already been produced by Bandai in Japan for Juko, B-Fighter, and B-Fighter Kabuto. Action figures in multiple scales for all 3 hero characters, villains, and characters like Shadowborg, the evil clone of Drew's Blue Stinger Beetleborg.
And the fact that also that the Shadowborg actually is one of the main robots in the Forever Red episode of Wild Force. If you guys don't really know about that, I recommend watching the episode and pointing out where each one comes from.
Powered vehicles like the Blue Stinger RV, full-size roleplay items like the Sonic Laser or the Thunder Stinger, deluxe robots like Gigantus, the mobile attack carrier, and even a Beetle Battle-based playset that came with all 3 mini ATV vehicles and smaller scale figures.
I had the Morpher.
And remember, any products that existed at the time for Juco B-Fighter and B-Fighter Kabuto, or that have been produced since, are also Beetleborg toys. In 2015, Bandai released fully articulated 6-inch scale versions of all 3 heroes that will fit right in with your import Power Rangers, Masked Rider, and VR Troopers figures.
I wonder how much they sell for nowadays on Amazon. I just kind of I'm actually just a curious dog to see how much nowadays, if you go on Amazon and try to look up Big Bad Beetleborgs, either A, you actually would find something, or B, if they're going to exceed almost $100 to almost $1,000. So nowadays, if you actually go on, if you want to get the DVD, it says you can actually get a used season 1 for $79.09. But nowadays, I'm like actually going through this, guys. There is nothing when it comes to looking for toys. I mean, a lot of it is based off Japanese stuff. I'm actually quite surprised nowadays. If you can't find Big Bad Beetleborgs on Amazon, probably going on it, you have to go on eBay and to see the prices. They're probably double the prices that they were back then, almost triple to say the least.
Borgs appeared in comic books in our world as well, and that's a good thing regardless of however brief it was. Despite Saban's ownership of both the Power Rangers and Beetleborg franchises, and their intent to do so, they were unable to execute a crossover on either series.
I think it would actually throw a lot of it off. I think, to me, they did that with the Masked Rider, and it was much of a success for having almost like 2 to 3 episodes worth of it. It just, to me, I don't think it was that going to be very successful regarding having it, even though they do the quote main villains in the Forever Red episode of Wild Forge, which I said this like 400 times already, guys. The fact of the matter is, it just wouldn't work. I mean, they did try to do that the one time with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers in Space. It just didn't work, and it felt weird.
1997, that crossover would finally happen in Acclaim and Valiant Comics. Saban presents Power Rangers Turbo vs. Beetleborgs Metallics. It was the second of only 3 issues of a comic anthology series called Saban Powerhouse. If nothing else, it's easier and a heck of a lot cheaper to pull off a crossover like that in the comics rather than trying to develop it for television.
True.
Unfortunately, the Beetleborgs got caught up in the wild storm called Extreme Studios, headed by Rob Liefeld. Liefeld, one of the founders of Image Comics in 1992, was one of the hottest artists in the business at the time. In 1996, Extreme Studios owned the license to produce comics based on Saban Entertainment properties like Power Rangers and Beetleborgs. However, Liefeld had his hands full in 1996. Marvel was suing him over his creation of a character that wasn't legally distinct enough from Captain America. His Image co-founders and business partners were kicking him out of the business because he was making a lot of decisions that were detrimental to their businesses. Only one issue of Power Rangers Zeo was ever produced, written by Tom and Mary Bierbaum, illustrated by Todd Knock. Advertisements in the book teased the possibility of additional issues of Power Rangers Zeo, a Power Rangers Youngblood crossover, and a Beetleborg series. It's fun to imagine what might have been, but as a wise man once said, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Happy Meal toys, branded sunglasses, stickers.
Exactly what I said, guys. I pulled this out back then. I did have the golden one. That was just crazy. I just called that out, and they just show it. That's at, wait, it was McDonald's or was it Burger King? I don't know. Back then, I didn't even like McDonald's. Now I love McDonald's. Kind of weird.
Beetleborgs weren't featured on quite the same scale of licensed merchandise as Power Rangers, but they added to the sustained Saban Entertainment presence throughout kids' media. Some episodes of Beetleborgs were released on VHS by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment in the 90s. In 2001, the rights to Beetleborgs transferred to Disney with the purchase of Fox Kids Worldwide, which included Saban Entertainment.
And that was almost the thing that started tumbling down when it comes to Saban, especially with the Power Rangers, once Disney got involved. And I explained this back then of all the videos I watch, Saban, after a while with going to Disney and then Nickelodeon and all that, it just became this soup of misfit wonders. And to be honest, I think it got lucky not to go anything further with Disney. Just saying.
In 2010, Saban's new company, Saban Capital Group, purchased the Power Rangers and Beetleborgs back from Disney and started releasing the series on home media. By 2015, Shout Factory had released the entire series on DVD.
And the fact that I just talked about this too, the fact if you look for Volume 1, to find a used one on Amazon, it's going to cost almost $79. Are you going to spend $79 just to do it, or just go to Amazon and find it on Prime or something and watch it there? And the fact that also this actually was also on Netflix for almost 2 to 3 months. I forget what year it was, and then they got rid of it, and that made me sad. I mean, Netflix almost got rid of everything we grew up with in the 90s. It just got rid of it. The only thing I think I see nowadays of 90s is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. As much as they add the other things, the other Power Rangers that we don't mention, it's just the point that this was actually on there, and then they got rid of it. Why?
Track down the physical media, or you can purchase all of Season 1 streaming in standard definition on Amazon. The future of distribution is up to Hasbro, as Beetleborgs were part of the purchase of Saban Capital Group in 2018. Beetleborgs ended when the supply of footage it was borrowing from Juco B-Fighter and B-Fighter Kabuto ended. It's the inherent danger of relying on another production's content. One year they might just stop making the things you need to make your show. You can go along with the new direction, make your own new scenes with the existing costumes, or call it quits. Where Power Rangers maintained a consistent model of costumes, themes, characters, and tone over 30 years, 45 in Japan, the Metal Heroes series essentially ended in 1996. 1997's B-Robo Kabutak took a complete tonal shift, looking more like amusement park characters, an extreme departure from the Robocop-ish military and police heroes that had been the focus. Even though Beetleborg Metallics was a solid performer through Season 2, Saban Entertainment chose to take the hit and focus their efforts on the continuation of the Power Rangers franchise. And while Power Rangers has changed ownership more than once, it continues through today.
Yeah, and, we all have mixed feels about that one. I've talked about this many, many times already. Sorry in advance to those who watch this video.
Time at Disney in 2005, there was talk about a potential Beetleborgs spin-off that would have focused on the various monster characters that lived at Hillhurst Mansion, but that never materialized.
Thank
Sometimes
God.
it's better to leave the dead undisturbed. Who knows what might have been unleashed from the haunted organ this time?
That is true. I think that would have, as much as it would have been funny, I think it would have been better if they did that for like a short 30-second, 1-minute video, not a spin-off TV show, because I think to me, people would just say, you know what, this is boring. I'd rather watch Big Bad Beetleborgs than watch this.
Isn't the Beetleborgs themselves, but some of the suits made an appearance on Power Rangers in 2002 as part of the Machine Empire. During the Power Rangers 10th anniversary celebration episode Forever Red, 9 former Red Rangers and the current Wild Force Red Ranger are seen battling General Venjix and his associates.
I didn't even watch this video, and the fact that this guy is thinking exactly what I'm thinking of. And that's scary, because this is a blind video reacting to this.
Venjix is the Shadowborg suit from Big Bad Beetleborgs. His associates are either renamed suits from Beetleborgs or suits that have been mixed and matched to create new characters. Beetleborgs as a trademark is currently abandoned. Hasbro's focus is on the Power Rangers, and any characters that might be featured appear as part of that series. Metal Heroes have made appearances over the years, including Space Sheriff Gavan as Captain Chaku and Jiraiya as Sheriff Skyfire. Big Bad Beetleborgs and Beetleborgs Metallics were a highly successful series with ratings that actually outpaced the ratings for Power Rangers during those seasons. They were a creative high point for Saban Entertainment and their unique production process, even though it was that very process that led to their demise. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. If you haven't heard, we started streaming on Twitch. Find us twice a week at twitch.tv/ToyGalaxy. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, please visit our Patreon or become a YouTube channel member. Please share this video and let us know in the comments down below if you were into Big Bad Beetleborgs. Were you won over by the original characters? Did it seem like a knockoff of Power Rangers because you were 10 and didn't pay attention to who made the things? Or did it inspire you to seek out the original Japanese series and create a lifelong love for tokusatsu?
I think to me, though, it's a very good concept, the fact that it's all three of those theories are very much true. It gave something other than Power Rangers for people to watch. It gave things for people to go look up the Japan version, watch what Japan did. It also made us more to see what Saban can create. And I think to me, Big Bad Beetleborg was a success that kind of only lasted a good amount of time, but I think it was better that it kept in its time and not brought back to like things that Power Rangers did, that things like Disney and Nickelodeon have touched, because I think to me it would have been more troubling and a lot of people would have been more angry seeing what would happen. But the fact that we take a lot of appreciation from Japan and those TV shows, it made me more appreciate the fact that, you know what, we learn and progress. And to me, I would have to say Big Bad Beetleborg was a great show. On a scale between 1 and 10, I would have to give a respectful 8 because it was different. You know, it wasn't the same kind of thing. As much as it seemed very cheesy, we were young and we just watched it. And to me, I appreciate it. So I'm going to end the episode here, guys. On the next episode, we'll figure more things to react to. As always, guys, if you haven't, please subscribe to Secret Galaxy. I will put their channel link below where you can check them out. If you enjoy stuff like this, guys, please check out other reaction videos that I did. If you're interested into learning more about me and learning about Sentai, you should probably watch the video of me reacting to every Sentai openings, where the comments have been flowing with good comments and bad comments and interesting comments. But always, guys, please, if you haven't yet, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more of this channel. There are a lot of videos you guys have requested in the past I'm working on. I'm just getting back into recording. But, you know what? It's all fine. But you can also check out the links where you can find me at the end. So thank you for watching, guys. This is Michael, signing out.